here by a copy of a bust. This is Richard Robinson, our founder. He was the Archbishop of the Anglican Church in Ireland. Prior to becoming Archbishop, he served in the Dublin area, so he knew of Thomas Cooley's work, the architect, and very much liked his work. So when Robinson came here, as he should, as all the archbishops should have done, to reside in Armagh, being the ecclesiastical capital of Ireland, he found the city in a very poor state. So 1765, it lacked many of the buildings you see today. There was just very little. There had been such trouble, such dissent, and yet it has remained Patrick, as in St. Patrick's chosen city, which is why it is always referred to as the ecclesiastical capital.
It's mostly Church of Ireland records for the Diocese of Armagh, which includes County Louth, South Derry and East Tyrone. Church records and secular records, but there are items which did relate to all denominations because the church had a lot of land in the old days, so you could come in here inside and rent out land for the period to grow crops and so on.
This building here was built in the year 1268 and it's built in the shape of a cross and faces towards the east. There is an unusual feature. If you stand at the back and look straight down the centre aisle of the church, when you get to the step and the floor changes from stone to marble, the floor is off at a different angle. This building is crooked, and this was done deliberately to portray, it was done for the Archbishop to portray how our Lord Jesus died on the cross, traditionally with his head having fallen to one side.
This is just a large one of showing the red line as the conservation area. And then the two circles are the two sectors or the two clusters where we're going to concentrate on. The one we're in is the upper circle. And that's, so we would have passed down when we were coming down, when we came down from the Church of Ireland here. Remember we walked through coming down the hill here, if you can remember that journey. So these are the sort of buildings here, and the one we're in at the moment is this one. So we're right in the middle of the cluster. The consultants then divide them into high priority, medium priority and reserve. So that's the green, the red and the blue.
What are we in this building?
You're in high priority. Yeah. This is the one you just passed on the way down. If you might have just noticed it, it's been had the hoarding up for a long time. The owner, Jane Trainer, it's got this pretty horrible plastic stuff which they put up sometimes. And this is sort of what we're proposing for the front elevation. So we're going back then, you can see it is, well, you can't really tell what the existing openings are, but they're not very exciting. So we've got a scheme here. We've had a previous scheme which went into planning about 6 months ago, and I didn't really like it. And I suppose the beauty of THI is we can sort of really dictate and say, I want this, I want better quality, I want this, and if they want the money, I suppose, yeah. I think it's for the good of the scheme. So this is the one which is going to go in for a revised planning application.
Just to give you some idea, there's 4 strands that we have to deliver over the 5 years in terms of education and learning initiatives. First one is learning through heritage, the second is shared heritage, third animating heritage, and the fourth is Armagh City, today's future, tomorrow's heritage, so that idea of aspiration. And then just something simple, hoping to do February to May, just walking trips like you guys did today, just walking trips to the conservation area with the primary schools and immersing them in the local heritage.
For your entire time, from the day you enter this prison to the day you leave, the idea is you never communicate with another human being except the guards. And of course, as we know, that's incredibly damaging. But these are the 2 cell blocks branching up here. So this is actually the earlier cell block. This comes about 5 years later, but because of the more recent operation of the prison, that's called cell block A, and cell block B. Cell block C used to exist out there.